How do you know when it's time to delegate in your salon business, and why is it that salon business coaches are so obsessed with delegation? Well, the benefits of delegation are really clear, and salon coaches like teaching you to delegate because it's a really easy way to reduce overwhelm. So by getting rid of some of the stuff in your inbox, by juggling less tasks, we can reduce your overwhelm really quickly. That allows greater focus on the stuff that's really important in your business, and most of all, it helps you chase that elusive work-life balance. There are only three ways to get closer to work-life balance, three ways to buy time back in your day. One would be to increase your prices, so increasing by more than an inflationary increase, which often there's some resistance to in our industry. That means that we're making more money per hour, therefore we may be able to work less hours and get closer to that work-life balance. Or we can grow our team to increase capacity, so that means overall the business has more capacity, therefore more profitability, which means that we can start to scale back our hours a little bit. Or the third way is to delegate, so basically to buy time back in our day by getting other people to take on some of those tasks so that we can focus on the stuff that puts money in the till. I'm not just talking about carrying out service, though that's a really important part of it, but also marketing your salon is a revenue generating activity. It's increasing the profitability of the business. Managing your team's performance, so coaching them towards targets and improving what they're putting in the till each week, is a revenue generating activity as well. Also training and upskilling, so getting people to the stage where they can charge more for their services. Lots of excuses get thrown my way when we talk about delegation. There's quite a lot of resistance about it. First of all, people say, but I don't have a team. So if you're a solopreneur or just working on your own, you don't have anyone to delegate to. Well, I'm afraid that's no excuse, because we're not just talking about internal delegation. We're also talking about external delegation, which is very often called outsourcing. So I'm going to talk about both in the same conversation. Some people just don't want to delegate though, and I would honestly take some time to question why. I would get yourself a new page in your journal, give it the title, Why I Want to Do It All, and really take some time to unpack this in some detail, because it's really worth analysing why it is that you feel that you have to do it all yourself. There is a myth that surrounds business, not just in our industry, but in business generally, the myth of busy, that we have to be seen to be slightly overwhelmed, busy, and juggling lots and lots of different things in order to be successful. There is no extra dignity in being busy, I promise you, and we've made a faulty link between being busy and being successful. There are billions of people in this world who are very busy, but actually very unsuccessful. They either have lack of success in material terms, or if that's not important to you, they have lack of autonomy and control over their day. Equally, there are some people in this world, quite a lot actually, who are very successful, have lots of autonomy over their day, but they're not particularly busy working on or in their business. That proves, I think, that the myth of busy is an absolute falsehood. Busy does not equal success. What if you've been bitten before though? What if you're wary of delegation because you've tried and failed in the past? You might have delegated something and it didn't go particularly well. Maybe it even did some damage to your business in the short term. But don't abandon the entire system. There are still lots of things to be gained from delegation. What we need to do is go back, figure out why it didn't work, and make it work for you, because the long-term benefit is there. Lots of people brag about being a control freak. They wear it as some kind of badge of honor. And let me tell you that control freaks are actually the people who have the least amount of control in their lives. They're trying to do so many things, they're not doing any of them particularly well, and that means they are dropping the ball all over the place. If it makes you feel any better, you already delegate. The chances are that you don't keep your takings in a biscuit tin underneath your bed. You have delegated looking after your money to a bank, for example. On a more domestic level, perhaps you've delegated walking around the store. Perhaps you delegated the shopping, getting your groceries delivered. Or maybe you get help with domestic chores. Perhaps you have a cleaner or somebody who comes in and does the ironing for you. Or maybe you've delegated some elements of childcare. So you're already delegating and outsourcing in lots of directions. So there is no fear to be felt over delegation. How do you know when it's time to delegate? Well, it depends how busy you are. If you're over 80% booked up, if over 80% of your day is taken with revenue generating activities, I think it's probably time for you to delegate. Less than 80%, there's probably some scope in your day to keep doing most of those tasks yourselves. It's time for a diary diet. If you're over that magic 80%, I want you to have a look at how many hours you actually want to work, including time that you take work home with you, and compare that to how many hours you're actually working at the moment, again, including the work that you take home. And if there's a difference, if you're working more hours than you want to, then it's time to delegate. It's time for that diary diet. So what can we look at delegating and outsourcing? Well, I would take your most popular service. Let's say that you're a beauty salon and you carry out facials in your salon at about £60 an hour. Anything that you can outsource or delegate for under £60 an hour is up for grabs, and we should look at delegating so that we can carry on with those popular services. Don't just look at the big stuff though. For example, I have a virtual assistant, and even though I'm not necessarily recommending that you get yourself an assistant right now, she goes through my inbox every day and deletes all the spam. She stops me disappearing down that rabbit hole of the inbox and only leaves the stuff that's relevant, saving me lots and lots of time. Don't waste time on minimum wage tasks. I see too many salon owners cleaning their own windows. Delegate that and concentrate on the stuff that puts money in the till. How do we stay in control? Well, you control freaks. Only delegate what it is that you understand. Now, you don't have to understand every step of a process, but you do need to understand what the expectation is at the end of the process. For example, I don't know how to file my own tax returns and financial accounts. I understand what I want the outcome to be, but I don't need to understand every step of that process that's delegated to my accountant. I hope that's been useful to you. For more help on managing your salon without overwhelm, head over to my free Salon Ignition Facebook group, search for Salon Ignition, or the magic link is there. Until we speak again, take care.